When it comes to original Filipino music, you can come close to how original our next guest can be.
He is the lead singer of one of Pinoy Rock's most successful bands of all time. And for the past 2 decades, they've provided us with their brand of Pinoy rock and Pinoy metal. Please welcome to Adobo Close-Up, the multi-awarded vocalist of Wolfgang, Sebastian Artadi, or how Pinoys who bump into him in the street say, "Uy, si Basti."
Basti.
Basti, welcome to Adobo
Hello.
Nation. Welcome to the show.
That's pretty much the reaction you get, right?
That's all the time, man. That's it. Oh, si Basti!
And you say,
Oy, pare.
Basti, you've been here now since 2001. You came to the States in 2001.
2002.
2002.
Yeah, 2002 I
And
migrated.
Wolfgang started in 1992, and you had a long career, very successful in the Philippines. That's something you're, of course, reigniting now. But you came here as an immigrant, and now you're a worker, married. That must have been difficult to give up such a wonderful musical career.
Yeah,
How was
well,
that?
it was, you know, it was a challenge, but it was something at the time I was ready to do. I was ready to take that step. I mean, we had traveled the Philippines, we had gone everywhere, and, you know, I felt that it was time for a change. You know, I knew that that would always be back there for me, and I never closed the door on it. When I left, I didn't tell, you know, my bandmates that that was it. I wasn't planning on making music with them anymore. So I knew that that was always there and something I could always return to, you know, whenever the calling did call.
and you know what's cool about the brand of music that Wolfgang provides is that even if you guys were gone from the scene for a long time, it was always there. People knew the music, they still remember the songs, and when you came back and launched your latest album, Villains, which was launched last December, all of a sudden, you know, the fans resurrected.
Actually, the funny thing was, I think it like multiplied even more, you know, the old guard, as I call them, or the ones that were at our concerts when we left.
Who were in high school
like
then,
they
and
never
now
left.
are...
Yeah.
Now they're children, and they're, you know, they're young people also who are going when we play shows now. It's really weird. You got all
It's
ages
a new generation
and
of fans.
yeah,
Intergenerational.
and there's so many now.
In the introduction, we said providing music for... You're coming close to 20 years now. Your band was formed in 1992. How does that make you feel, thinking, wow, 20 years is just around the
Shoot,
corner?
man, you know, didn't think we'd last this long, and we have, you know. And I think that the most important thing is, like, when we made this new album, I didn't feel like any of it died. You know, usually, I mean, I can't really say for other people, but I would think that usually you would feel like something has gotten lost as you age or as you progress. But with the 6th album, no, man, I think it's like...
How different is the 6th album? Because they have a new drummer now. I mean, the original cast is still together, except for the drummer. Is the sound now different from the old Wolf?
Yeah, every player adds his own element to it, so there is a little bit of a difference. But I mean, if you hear it, you know, it's spot on, Wolfgang. You'll know that it's us.
And there was something very historical almost when it comes to the Philippine music scene when Wolfgang and Razorback reunited on stage, performed the Alive concerts. This was in 2007. How did that feel for you?
It was great. It was actually the first time I had gone back in a long, long time. And I wasn't even going back to play. I was going back to get married officially with family and friends. And my friend from Razorback, Sir Paul, and my old guitar player, Manuel, had called me and said, "Hey, if you're coming back, why don't you play a show with us? You know, let's do a reunion thing." And we did, and it was a blast straight on through. We sold that one out, and then I think we added on another show the next week because the demand was so high, and before we even started selling tickets, we sold that one out too.
And this one is coming out on video soon.
Yeah, that should be coming out, I believe, December, if not early next year.
Oh, so the DVD of the Razorback Wolfgang reunion
will be out. Yeah, and you can see everything, all the craziness. And
So the reunion of Wolfgang is now solid. Tuloy-tuloy na to.
Tuloy-tuloy, yeah, definitely. I mean, well, you know, I also like to say that we never really split up. It was more of like a hiatus. When I came here, I was like, you know, give me a call when something fruitful or something exciting comes up and I'm on a plane back, you know. And I didn't know it was going to take 6 years, but...
And now you're living the corporate life here in America.
Yeah,
you have
living
a beautiful
the corporate
family.
life.
You're always itching to get to this stage, I'm sure. But so you found
All the
another
time.
expression for your music and for your...
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you know, it is when
you found an outlet.
There's a lot of stress and all this stuff that goes on in this day. So you do have to have an outlet some way. So me, I just decided to take up painting.
And you brought some of your works here on the show.
Yeah.
Tell us about this Elvis Presley one.
That was actually my first one. That was the first one I ever did. I don't know, I just decided to start, I mean, I always painted even as a kid, but, you know, I just decided to start getting into oil and the new medium, which was crepas and mixing the two.
Okay.
And that was the first one I did, and I don't know, when I remember when I was doing it, it just, you don't think.
Yeah.
You know, you like disappear into it, so you don't feel any pressures or anything. It's great.
And you have something that looks like a Miles Davis
That's a Miles
interpretation.
Davis, yeah. It's like, my wife hates it. She thinks it's the scariest thing. Every time it's in the house, she has to turn it away because she can't stand the eyes. But
Are these for sale, or?
no, they're just my, you know, my personal
Mag-exhibit ka ba in a
stuff.
gallery? Sometimes that's something you're looking
You know what, that's what I'm thinking of doing. Maybe if ever I come up with, you know, 16, 15, 20. A higher number. Right now I have like 8 or 10. I can't really remember how much.
Para
but
naman sa mga fans mo, Basti, here in America, are you looking at some Wolfgang shows here?
Definitely. What we were thinking of doing was getting Razorback over here. Razorback has never, ever played the States. And our guitar player plays with them now. So if ever they do come, you know, shoot, I'm going to hop on board that one. I'm going to, you know, experience the States again with the Razorback, which should be fun.
And all the good old songs, all the best of stuff. And you have a lot of Tagalog songs in your repertoire. Basti, by the way, writes a lot of his Tagalog music. How do you feel about Freddie Aguilar saying that Arnel Pineda of Journey and this Cheris Pampenga, they're like hacks because, you know, they're just copying songs of American performers?
I don't know. I really can't comment on what Freddie Aguilar is thinking because I don't know what he's thinking about saying that. I mean, me personally, I think as a Filipino, you should give, you know, you should give respect and props to Filipinos who are making it, you know, who are doing good for themselves.
So it doesn't matter if they're just, you know, copying some other person's songs.
If, I mean, you can say just because they're singing it, they're copying, but my personal feeling on that is they're interpreting it their own way. It's their voice interpreting another person's song. So I think they're making it their own, you know.
Awesome.
Now that it seems like Wolfgang is here to stay, are you looking at breaking through the American music scene yourself?
No, I gave up searching for that gold ring a long time ago. Right now, I mean, every time we play, it's just about having as much fun on that stage as possible, you know. I'm not after chasing that ring anymore.
And finally, how long are you guys going to be around? What do you see in the future? Because, you know, the Juan de la Cruz band is touring the West Coast later this year.
I'm going to visit, man. I'm going to watch that, definitely.
But
I just heard that right now.
I mean, Pepe Cruz is, what, 80 years old?
Pepe Smith.
Pepe Smith, rather.
Pepe Cruz.
Pepe Smith, 8 years old. Do you still see yourself rocking out in the year 2030?
I don't know. I don't know if I could carry it on that long. Hopefully, man. Fingers crossed, you know.
Kids and grandkids will be the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Salamat, Basti. We can't wait to see you
much.
perform here in the U.S.
Thank you.
Thank you at nakitambay ka dito sa amin sa Adobo Nation. Ayan mga ka-nation, sabay nating antayin ang paglabas ng bagong album ng Wolfgang, of course, with Basti Artadi. Ngayon, ihanda naman na